Hi, welcome to my channel, and I'm going to talk about where the Crawdads sing, as you can see from the poster. So this video is not going to make sense if you haven't watched it. So I don't really do like reviews or in-depth reviews on it, or go through basically the plot points of the film. I just give a quick take and a fan fiction of what I would have done differently, or what I would have seen done differently in the film. So, for my quick take, I thought the movie was okay. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was it's not even in the middle, honestly. It's a little bit below the middle for me. That doesn't say much for the film. But that's just for my personal opinion. Um, so, this is an adaptation of a book. And obviously, in a book, you can go into more details and you can go into more depth to give the characters, more depth for the audience, for the person reading. They can really they can get lost in the book, right, and picture whatever they're reading for themselves. For this to be 2 hours, I think they missed the mark on showing us or giving us that depth. It didn't really. It was too much of a superficial story for me. And that was really, the example really was with the villain. And I'm going to explain that in my fan fiction. So, yeah, so overall, it was just okay. But before I get to my fan fiction, let me give you a little fun fact about me and books. So, because this is an adaptation of a book, I figured let me talk about a little bit of my experience with books. I've only read one book. I hate to say it, it's embarrassing, but I've only read one book from cover to cover in my life, for real, and and that's Ethan From, and I do give it a thumb up. It's good. I recommend it. But yeah, that's bad. Go read. Don't be dumb like me. Read. So to get into my fan fiction portion of the video, I think where what I would have done different is with the villain, Chase. So so our villain Chase, he meets our main character, Kaya, and in the beginning, he's very sweet to her. He tells her all the right things. He's showing her, he's telling her, be you, you're unique, you're beautiful. I love the way you are. And don't change for anybody. He's telling her all the right things, right? But as the audience member, even though I didn't read the book, obviously we know that's who's going to be the villain, right? Because he, from the beginning, early on, he dies, right? So basically, it's her being on trial, and it unfolds like that. But it felt too sudden of a turn with Chase, of him turning bad, of him becoming the villain. He really becomes the villain when the ex, uh, uh, basically boyfriend, her first boyfriend, her first love, comes back to town, and he overhears him like making fun of her, of Kaya, with one of his friends, right? One of Chase's friends, right? And to me, that was they should have done more. They should have shown Chase maybe like in the town, uh, s- you know, not not saying the right things about Kaya, not saying that he's with her, or being embarrassed to talk about her, or give us a little bit more, right? Give us a little bit more before you just completely just okay. Now he's the bad guy. You know what I mean? So things like that. That's what kind of bothered me of the film. So the other thing that kind of brought the film down for me is it kind of felt like a TV movie. So for me, this would have played better, well, at least the way they wrote it, the way they did it, as like an HBO miniseries, maybe like a two-part, three-part series, right? Because I've seen some series on HBO that was really well done, and so I'm thinking like with this, they could have really fleshed out the characters even more, even with Kaya, with everyone, and given them more, and it would have felt more satisfying. It would have felt like a complete movie instead of just being sort of a superficial uh bad boyfriend turns, turns abusive and he dies and now we have to figure out as audience who did it, right? And they're trying to do that too, like a who done it, like try to type of movie. Hmm. So that's where it fails for me. It's like with the villain, and that it just didn't really feel like a movie. Like it just felt like a something like a TV series where it could have just been done properly. I don't know. I don't know. To me, it missed the mark. It was a little disappointing. Like I said, it wasn't terrible. I would still recommend go to watch it. Just that way you can make up your own mind. Especially if you're if you're a fan of the book, maybe it's worth watching, and maybe you'll like it, maybe you'll hate it. I don't know because you probably have your own expectations in your head, or how the characters look in your head. So it can go both ways. But either way, I still you know mm, it's all right. So yeah, it's kind of disappointing, but anyways, yeah. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you come back to my next video. And yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good one.